everybody, it's Heather here from handmadebyheatherruwe.com, and today I'm very excited to give you a tour of my creative space. Now, when we saw this house, the previous owners had it set up as a game room. They had a pool table in here and a dartboard, and I think my husband was super excited about that. But I saw all those windows and natural light pouring in and thought this would make a great space for a studio. So let me start off the tour by, when you enter the door to the left, you'll see this gallery wall. I have a canvas there at the top that I created in a Jennifer McGuire class. And then the rest of the layouts are just my favorites from the years. And those two prints in the center, those are from Baby Bird and Bubba. And I'll have links to all of this in the YouTube description. And then to the left, on top of the cabinet, I have this really cute extra large clothespin. And it holds cards that I received from my friends. I just kind of rotate those out every once in a while. And those stamps there that you see, those are actually new stamps that are coming out from Hero Arts and their Christmas catalog this year. And I'm super excited because that is my handwriting. So I wanted to kind of show those off. And then at the other end of the cabinet, I have a spinner here that I believe I bought at Pottery Barn many years ago. And it holds all these cards from my friends. They received that stamp that I just showed you at a recent craft retreat, and they were sweet enough to send me cards. So that makes me happy, and I wanted to display those. All right, moving on to the cabinet. In the top left drawer, I just have some extra pieces that didn't make it onto a card. So some extra die cuts and stamp pieces and pattern papers. And this really helps me when I need to make a card quickly. And below that, in this cabinet, there is some cards that, all these cards that I made, I just kind of toss them in there. I need to organize them by theme, but for now, that's where they live. And then to the right of that is just some cases for my iPad when I travel. Under that is a basket that holds bubble wrap and packing tape, anything I need for mailing. In the center cabinet, I have some boxes that hold all my photographs. And below that, there are two crates that hold, the one on the left holds all of my colored scraps of paper. And there's a little box there, and I use that for when I do spray misting and I don't want to get my surface messy. And then to the right there is all of my mini albums I've created. Okay, on the top right of the cabinet, this drawer holds everything to keep me organized. I have some labels, some Velcro, like I said, anything for organization. And below that is a drawer that holds more boxes, and this is more photographs. All right, moving to the right, I should mention that fabric for my curtains is from Heather Bailey that I picked out many years ago. My friend's mom is a wonderful seamstress, and I kind of drew up a sketch for her, and she sewed all the curtains. And then to the right is the first of two stamp shelves that my husband made for me. He just used some of his scrap wood he had in the garage, and I gave him some dimensions. But what I love about this is all the wood block is kind of organized by theme. So right there you can see like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and snow and all the sentiment stamps together. So it makes things really easy to find. And then to the right of that is a door that goes to a covered porch outside. And that's really nice for when I kind of need to step away from a project and take a minute. It's nice to go out there and do that. And then above that is the word create. And I believe I got those letters at Michael's. It was like in their dollar bin. And then to the right of the door is another stamp shelf. It just mirrors the one I just showed you. More woodblock stamps. And then another window. And to the right of that is the all the shelves that I have in my room. It spans from left to right. And all these shelves I got at IKEA. So starting on the left-hand side, I'll open up this glass door, and at the top you can see the chest that I decorated. It says love notes, and inside are just notes from cards from my husband, my sons, my family, my friends. I keep those in there. And then below that is a little antique scale that I hold all the magazines that I was published in. Below that is some idea books. And below that, you'll actually see this a lot in my room. I have, it's just an empty jar. I have a lot of empty containers. I do that so I just have room to grow, because I'm always constantly getting new things and I kind of want to have a home for them. And then to the right of that are just some markers. Below that is just a white photo box filled with more of those cards that I mentioned from before. And then at the bottom is, like I said, another empty bucket waiting for some new goodies. Okay, moving on. The next top shelf is 3 yellow baskets. The one on the left holds a Xyron sticker machine and the refills. The one in the middle holds acrylic blocks. And the one on the right holds just miscellaneous stamping products like a stamp positioner and masking tape. Below that is a marker cabinet I got at Hobby Lobby that holds all my markers. Below that are some antique locker baskets. The one on the left holds all of my larger stamp sets that don't fit in the regular envelopes. The one in the middle, this one holds all of my Hero Arts clean. So I have some background stamps in front, and then in the back of that I have all my cleans from Hero Arts. To the right of that, this basket, this is filled with all the background stamps. Like I said before, I definitely have a problem with those. I love those. All right, to the bottom of that on the left is all of my 6x6 paper pads, and I keep those extra large clothespins with them in there because they make a great little clip for all those loose pieces that you have. I keep them all together and keep it organized that way. And then here are some CD baskets that have, the left one has all cards and envelopes from Hero Arts. The one on the right has all paper tray ink stamps and Amuse stamps. And below that are some drawers that hold, to the left there is all my distress stain. Then there is some extra large brads that I've been hoarding. And then here's a tray that has my watercolor in it. Different watercolor sets, and then some watercolor paper, and also some brushes I like. Below that are some white 12 by 12 boxes. As you can see, one is empty, and then the other ones have anything from calendar pieces. I make my mom a calendar every year, so I keep everything that I need for that in there. And I have rub-ons in one, and also some projects that I like to do with my kiddos. And then below that are some albums. I'm trying to fill up that shelf soon. I'm trying to get organized, but that's where all my family scrapbooks are going to go. And then at the very top on the next shelf are 4 little buckets. I believe I got those from the Target dollar bin. They hold just miscellaneous things like jewelry making and sewing products. Under that is a bin that holds extra card supplies. I mostly use the Hero Arts products, but if I need a different envelope or a different card, that's where I store them. To the right are some boxes I got at the Container Store, and they hold everything from Project Life things to scraps of pattern paper to those extra large pictures you get at the portrait studio. The next shelf below is all my stamps. This basket on the left here just holds some stamps that I want to make sure I use before I put them away. And then this bin has all of my Hero Arts. They're divided by category. Like sentiments and birthday and thank you. And then to the right are just some other companies I love. Neat and Tangled, Simon Stamps, Lawn Fawn, those are all in here. This basket just holds stamps that need to be put in those clear envelopes and then we put away. Below that are some more of those bins. The one on the left holds all of my stencils and masking tape. The one in the center holds all of my embossing supplies. And the one on the right holds all of my extra trimmers and rulers. On the very bottom of that shelf, those 2 large white cubbies hold all of my 8.5 by 11 Hero Arts layering paper, Nina cardstock, and Simon Says Stamp cardstock. The 2 bins above that, the one on the left, the green one, holds all my Bow Bunny paper. And the one on the right holds just miscellaneous cardstock that I usually take to crops with me. And then I also keep my Ranger craft mat on top there. Okay, moving on to the right is another window. And then I've got some markers on there, a sketchbook, and then I have this little caddy that holds stickles, perfect pearls, and glossy accents. Below that little table, that's where I store my rolling tote that I take to crops. Okay, on to the next shelving unit. At the very top there, I just have my my monogram letters up there, and I spray painted them different colors to match the room. Below that is, yes, you see it right, it's a collection of Pez. I've collected Pez for many years, and I have so many, but I don't really have a home for them at my house, so I decided to put a small collection in here because it makes me so happy, and I rotate them every once in a while. And then below that are some jars that hold ribbon, washi tape, and more washi tape. Below that, this is my ink section. I used to have a Sizzix machine, so they had these kind of big columns that hold all of the dies for that, but I found that they work really good for holding the ink pads. So I have all my Hero Arts ink in there, and they rotate around to hold more in the back. And then the front has a plastic cover that you can pull up to reach the ink pads. So I have two of those, one on each side, and in the center is my Distress ink center, and it has all of my foam applicators at top with the blending tools, and then all the ink pads below. And this actually was a little something that my husband had in his garage. He wasn't using it. It was kind of dingy and the wrong color, but with a little cleaning and spray paint, it really it makes a great home for this. And it is magnetic, so I can keep extra little foam applicators in this little bin. Okay, below that is some more of those gray totes you've been seeing. And on the left there is my fabric. In the middle is just scrap pieces of paper for when I get messy with stamping. And then on the right is some card kits. Below that are two laundry hampers. The one on the left holds all of the foam stamps I have, the alphabets and numbers, and then to the right is magazine idea books. And moving on to the very top of the next shelf those are actually two metal bread boxes, and I found that those work great for holding the letter stickers. So the one on the left holds all of my thickers, and then the one on the right holds all the other companies. Below that, the stand on the left I got from Pottery Barn, and it holds a little canvas print from Kohl's. And then the display on the right, I got that at an antique mall. I think it's a planner of some sort, but as you can see, I love my background stamps, and this display holds those. And then I got that little yes plaque from, I believe, Home Goods, and that's there because I'm a big Bethany Frankel fan, and if you know anything about her, that's where that comes from. And then below that is a tray of little jars full of embellishments for scrapbooking. And below that are some buckets. The one on the left holds journaling cards, and then pockets, tags, labels, and frames. Then I've got some more boxes below that holds my extra daubers and foam, my bling, so my pearls and gems, and then also the one on the right holds all of my eyelets. Below that are some boxes that hold some vinyl, some chipboard, and my old Caluzel cutting system. So moving on to the last part of the shelf, let me open this door. There's two red decorative boxes. They just hold extra Hero Arts ribbon and also my X-Acto knife, and I also have a little mini craft iron in there. And below that, this container came from Michael's, and it has all of my spray inks in there. And below that is a jar. I love gingham ribbon. I'm a big fan of that, so I have lots of that, and that's where that lives. Below that is just some extra white ribbon thrown into a flower pot. And below that, it's kind of my guilty pleasure shelf. I'm a big Twilight fan, so I have the books there. And then I love the designing with calendars. Can't seem to get rid of those, so those are in there, along with, I believe that looks like a Wicked program from when I saw the show. And below that is, my son made me that in school many years ago, that little pot, and it holds all of my paintbrushes. So let me close that door. And then to the right is a little art print, a Pez art print. And it's magnetic and it holds a little note from my dad. He's notorious for little notes in our birthday cards, and that one made me really happy, so I wanted to hang it up. The next, right to the right of that is a shelf from Making Memories. It holds my flowers, my thread, and all my ribbon. Below that is a shelf that holds all of my buttons categorized by color. And then we have another window, and below the window is I call it my die cutting station. I have my Cuddle Bug and my Big Shot on there. And this table is actually from Jenny Bolin. I know some of you know her in the crafting world. And I was in her neck of the woods and she was selling it, and I went and picked it up. And I just love this table. I was hoping her mojo would come home with me. That didn't happen, but the table I love. So on top of the table, it has this really neat plexiglass. And under that, I can display some layouts that I created. So, and this layout's really special, just a little side note. This was created by my husband and my stepson. I think it was the first year we were married. I just thought that was so sweet. So I kept that. And then another layout I did of my son. And below that is another unit from my husband's garage. He was not using this, and again, the wrong color, but he cleaned it up for me, spray painted it white, and it's the perfect tone for all of my markers and colored pencils. And I have those sorted by color. So you saw the red ones, the orange ones. I also have some adhesive in here, like my staplers in one of them, my hole punches in one, so it's really nice and fits in great on the table. Below that is just a container that I have extra lights in, fans, cords, and to the right of there is a little container that holds all of my alphabet punches. Okay, moving on to the right is another one of those Making Memory shelves, and this one holds ribbon, acrylic paints, flocks, glitter, and also all my brads are sorted in these favorite containers. I believe I got those from Michael's. Now below that is a shelf that holds my iPod, some accessories for that, and then this is where I keep all my dies. And you'll also see on the wall there I have some butterflies that go from the floor all the way to the ceiling, and those were just made from my die cutting machine and some vinyl. So over here is my red cabinet. I've had this red cabinet for years. It's supposed to be for a computer, and that's what I used to have my computer in, but I thought it would be neat to kind of transform it and use it for all my crafty supplies. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So when you open this up, I have to the left there and to the right are plastic drawers that hold all of my colored cardstock. And in the center is some drawers that hold, this is all of my Tim Holtz and Sizzix dies. And in the bottom of that drawer is all of my embossing folders. There's some punches there to the left in a basket. And this was supposed to be where the keyboard is, but I use it for all of my punches. So I pull that out, find the punch I need, and push it back in there. And I like that because it's not something I kind of want to see all the time. Below that are some more plastic 12 by 12 cases. And I have those divided up between Project Life, stickers, Halloween, Christmas, other holidays, and also one for my sons when I buy certain products for their scrapbooks. To the right of that are 2 extra large punches, and to the bottom there in the white basket is some mini albums that I hope to create someday. And then to the right of that is where I keep all my Project Life kits, page protectors, and the little journaling cards. So that does it for the cabinet. Let me shut this up. And then on the top of the cabinet, I just have some various artwork and a little display, another card from a friend, and those extra large scissors I got, I think at Hobby Lobby, but they were the wrong color, so I spray painted them that silver. So that's a little tip for you. Spray paint is your friend. It can make anything pretty. Now to the left of the cabinet, I don't know if you can see, but tucked behind there I have a little hook on the wall, and then I have all of my kind of bags that I take for crops. I just kind of wanted that hidden, and it's a nice little spot for them. All right, to finish off the tour, that's where the door is. To finish off, in the center of the room is 2 of those extra large folding tables. Now, my intention was to get like a big dining room white table. I have not found anything that I like, so I've kept these for pretty much since we've been here for about 10 years. And what I love about the folding tables is they've been used and abused, and they've come out fine. So it's nice to have something that's very casual, so when friends come over, I don't have to worry about, you know, ink getting everywhere. It's really nice. And I have some red chairs that I got from Target. And as you can see, the table's set up for 4 people. I have 4 lights on there, and I really like to scrapbook with others. So my nieces come over, so it's kind of a nice thing to have. And then this is where I usually scrapbook. So what I have is all my supplies are in this kind of to-go tote. Sorry about that. And I go to Crops a lot, so I like to have it on the go. So I keep that there along with this is actually a ceramic tile that I stamp on. It's a really nice surface to get good impressions. And then to the right of where I sit, I keep my to-go bag as well. Like I said, I'm on the go a lot, so in here is just like my trimmer, my traveling inks, and then all of my like pattern paper that I want to take. So that concludes the tour of my scrapbook room. Thanks for hanging in there with me. And if you want more details, just click the link below in the YouTube description. It'll take you over to my blog where I got all the products and any other information along with some photos. Thanks again for watching.